Function with Purpose podcast. All things health, wellness, fitness, and education through the physical therapy perspective. I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder of Fortress Physical Therapy. Fortress PT is here to serve the Charlotte metro area by highlighting the importance of how and why physical therapy should be a part of your health and wellness lifestyle. Here we go. Welcome to Season 5, Episode 1 of the Function with Purpose podcast. Again, oh my gosh, Season 5. This is flying by. But if this is your first time listening, I am Dr. Amy Bullock, owner and founder and physical therapist of Fortress Physical Therapy, and obviously this podcast, Function with Purpose. So, this season, I think with some things that I have down and I want to talk about, it's a little bit different. So to begin season 5, this is a major pet peeve of mine, and I look at this at a completely different perspective. And just hear me out. These are my opinions. You can do what you want, but I'm just going to give you my 2 cents here. So, should I finance my therapy visits? Think about that. When you finance something, that means you don't have the money at the moment to pay for that service. So if I'm coming in for physical therapy or any type of other healthcare professional or provider for their particular service, in my eyes, I better have that money at my disposal to pay for that visit. Now, I'm not talking catastrophic events where, you might have to go in for an emergency appendectomy. That means getting your appendix removed, because that is an emergency, right? That's where your health care, or I should say sickness care insurance, will help you pay for that visit or that surgery and thereafter. I'm talking about regular follow-ups, physical therapy sessions for an evaluation, treatments, assessments, etc. Should you finance your visit? No. Oh my gosh, no. Coming from the financial perspective, I was on this long journey of becoming debt-free from my debt that accumulated from physical therapy school. I chose that route. Yeah, I did that. Oh, that's going to be in another podcast. So you go in for a physical therapy, an assessment, or your initial visit, and excuse me, perhaps the end of that session, the physical therapist says, okay, that is going to be $300, and I think it's going to take you, maybe about 4 or 5 more sessions to complete this. And that's about $300 a session. So in all, $1,500. How do you want to pay for this? We can set you up on a financial plan or a monthly budget plan to pay for these sessions. But you have to have $900 as a down payment. What? Like, I walked in here as the consumer thinking I'm just going to pay for this one session. And I'm told that I owe $1,500 or $2,000 because I will need 5 sessions to fix whatever's going on with me. I truly think that's completely backwards, right? Because every patient that specifically walks through my door, they already know how much the session's going to be. And they are aware of that. So when you walk into the physical therapy clinic at Fortress, you pay for what you get, right? You receive the service, you pay for the service, you're confident in the results that you received, and then you schedule the next follow-up appointment when it's needed. Not, hey, it's going to take you for Achilles tendonitis. By the way, I'm still in the process of rehabbing it, and it's currently at this moment month 10. So when this comes out, it's going to be a year in. It's going to take you 20 visits to get out of tendonitis of your Achilles. How do you want to pay for this? No, like that, oh my gosh. Me, if I was coming in to receive those services, I do not want to hear that. Like, I just don't want to hear that. Right? So, should you finance your physical therapy visits? No. If you, the consumer, cannot pay for the provider's service at that time, then you can't see them or choose not to see them at that time. Wait, build up your fund, and then get on their schedule a couple weeks later because you'll have the funds for it. Why are you going to put yourself in debt? Like, why? That blows my mind. Now, there are some clinics that are set up like that, where they promote financing healthcare visits. Your regular doctor's office, you go in, you check at the front desk, you go back and see the doctor for 5 minutes. By the way, that probably out of cash pocket is about a $450 visit, and you just talk to them for 5 minutes. And, you circle around back front to the checkout desk where the receptionist is behind the computer, and they're like, well, you got to wait on your explanation of benefits on how much you'll owe for this visit. So you have no idea what you'll owe for that visit. Oh, and then later on, 3 months later, here comes the bill, $300, because your insurance only paid for $150 of that $450. You owe me $300. Do not pass go. Do not collect $300. Right? No. So, as a consumer, the thought process is backwards. When you reach out to go to a therapy session, any type of therapy, I don't care what it is, psychology, massage therapy, whatever, you need to ask the provider how much the session will cost. What are other options? Are there packages? Some people sell packages, and it's this amount. Okay, all right, I'm going to plan ahead. You're not there to, as a provider, trick people, right? If I go in unknowingly how much this visit's going to cost, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's going to be $100 or less or whatever, by the time I come out, and and then I see the provider, and they're like, hey, you got to come to therapy sessions, or you have to see me for 20 visits for the next 6 months, and it's going to cost you X, Y, and Z, $5,000, whatever. How do you want to pay for this? Oh, by the way, you have to put $1,000 down. What? I was here at this clinic for 30 minutes, and I owe $1,000 right now today. You didn't even tell me any of this before I even got here. Right? So I think as a consumer, those are questions that you need to ask the person on the other side of the fence who you're going to go see. How long are the sessions? How much are each session? All right, $100. Okay, all right. I don't have that at the moment. Maybe I can schedule out in 3 weeks. I'll have it in 3 weeks. Okay. In the meantime, I want you to do perhaps maybe this exercise, or you're gathering data for me as a patient so that when you come in here, we're a little bit ahead of the game, right? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Someone comes in and sees me, you see me, you pay for the service, the skilled physical therapy session, or maybe it's just a dry needling session. And then you schedule on that same day a follow-up of what we agree upon. Do I need to see you in 5 days or 7 days or 10 days? Or can I see you in 4 weeks? But hey, in the meantime, you have a piece of homework to do. You got to do your part. You got to meet me more than halfway, right? If you do it the other way around, and then at the end, the patient, after they go through their therapy session or whatever evaluation, and they get caught off guard, and then you're like, oh yeah, you owe me $1,000, but you have to have at least 50% of that payment down. That's called manipulating the consumer. Think about all of this stuff that's around you. Commercials, right? Everything is manipulation of the consumer. No, straightforward. I'm going to give it to you black and white. Physical therapy session is this. You come in, we schedule it, we do the session. We're confident with each other. We're confident with the results. Sometimes it takes a little while. Sometimes it doesn't. You pay for your session, and you schedule that same day for your follow-up. Sometimes it's a week later. Sometimes it's 10. Sometimes it might be every other week for a little bit until we control things. But you know the price tag of that. I'm not here to put my patients in debt. I've been there. I've personally been there. So, as you can see, I'm getting pretty hot about this topic. But in all, to kind of summarize, should I finance my physical therapy visits or therapy sessions, whoever I go see, whatever healthcare provider? No. No. No, 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 no. As a consumer, you need to be prepared with these questions to ask, how much is this going to cost me? How much time am I going to spend with you? Can you maybe give me an idea of perhaps when a next session may be coming about after I see you and I explain what's going on with me over the phone? Okay, all right, it's going to cost me $150. All right, cool. Let's get on the schedule next week. Or, hey, I don't have it at the moment. Maybe I'll check in with you in a month. Okay, cool. Right? You're not going to hurt my feelings as the provider. Of course, I want to get you better and back to what you love doing ASAP, but you have to be on the same level. You have to have that connection with your therapist. So no, I don't believe anybody should finance any therapy visits, right? I'm not, and again, at the beginning of this topic, I'm not talking about for emergency surgeries. Like, that's different, okay? That is a different approach. But, for things where aches and pains kind of pop up, or, you want to progress with a certain movement and physical therapy is involved with that, you got to be straight up clear, black or white, right? No, none of this gray stuff guessing. Don't manipulate the consumer. I would not want to be manipulated as a consumer. And if I am, guess what? You just lost a customer. All right. Woo. Take some breaths here, Amy. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for hanging in there for that little rant of mine. So, just kind of think about that stuff. Not only with going to go see your provider for, therapy or massage therapy or whatever, but other aspects of life, right? You got to know facts before you go. That's a wrap for today's episode, Function with Purpose podcast. For more information on this episode, please check out the show notes within your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe, like, share, or drop your comments and questions below. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Thanks for the listen. Pursuit, precision, purpose.